Wendy Richter. I'm gonna fuck you up.
We want Mina.
Mamacita.
Thank you, Trish.
I am Medusa, always have been Medusa, and always will be Medusa.
That too, it was gonna come out anyway.
I break bitches.
Call me David.
Let's go, girls. Okay. Welcome to Don't Call Me Diva. I am Bex, your host, and we have a wonderful guest in the house, Miss Christy. Woo! Books and Body
Hello.
Slams. Say hello.
Hello.
Ever since Hangman did that post about Shania Twain, like when when she said like "Let's go, girls," like he knew that she meant him too. I've always wanted to do that as an intro.
I loved it.
Thank you.
I think you need to do that every show.
Hey, I'm always awkward when I open these things, so like maybe that is perhaps the go, eh? we'll see what people think. So it's so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone wish Christy some good health vibes because she's just getting over a nasty little flu, which is not cool.
No.
So, no, it's not nice at all. But you're feeling better now, huh?
Yes, thankfully. I
Yeah.
still have a cough, so I apologize in advance.
Oh no, it's fine. So we're going to be catching up with the wrestling together this episode, so as not to make it a epic long odyssey. We won't be going back in time today. Maybe slightly with a sorry, autofocus. So with a some random tangents, we may go back in the past or something, but we'll basically focus on what we just saw and get to know Christy a bit more. I really want to hear first about what you want to do with your social media with wrestling, because you're like really vocal and it's really cool. I love to see it, and it's good to have like a strong female voice out there who's like it's not really gonna like care about like stupid misogynistic shit, but is gonna like stand up for things. And I love that. I love that you're like just getting your voice out there, because it's like really, really scary to do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have female tendencies. But so yeah. So yeah, please like introduce your like where you're coming from to everyone and to me as well.
Well, it's funny that you say that because that's why I started my account. Was I noticed there wasn't a lot of there's female voices, but there's not a lot of loud female voices, and I kind of just wanted to be that person, especially being so more AEW focused. I just wanted to be that loud AEW girl,
Yeah.
and I think I'm succeeding.
Yeah. Well, you are from what I see. Like in the engagement I see, I think you're doing that really well. Yeah, I love that because that's why I'm here too.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
wrestling needs a lot of more loud female voices because there's not that many of us out there.
No,
And
there's not.
no, especially I think in the AEW space.
Yes.
Like a
Yeah,
lot of them are WWE girls, and that's great.
That's
But
fine. Yeah, that's fine. And they need that too, because like,
mhm,
just because we're AEW focused doesn't mean that we have any tribalism against anyone doing anything over there. Absolutely not. The only reason why I stay away from it on this podcast is because like that's not my focus. Because
yeah.
there, like you just said, there's so many other focuses on that.
Mhm,
I want this to be about like exactly what you said, what isn't being focused on in our eyes. And yeah, I love that you also just went like, fuck it, I'll do it.
and
All
I
right,
I
I'll do it.
and I apologize now because I feel like in general, I just took a fuck it attitude, like, especially recently, where I'm just like, "I don't care. I'm not gonna be nice to people that I don't think deserve." Like, I'm not gonna be nice for the sake of being nice. If you don't like me, you don't
Yeah,
like me.
exactly.
Like
Because if you're gonna if you're gonna take the moment to engage, like it's only a moment of your life. And like you could be saying like a shit take to like something that you've said, and you might believe it. You might you might just say it because it's amusing for you for like 2 seconds and move on.
mhm,
Just you're not saying anything like anything at all. So it's like I prefer to I kind of prefer, depending on what they say, it's like I will either like respond back in a way that I feel makes me feel better because you've obviously done this to make yourself feel better. So I will return the selfish, placades. I don't think that was the right word, but we're going with that one. Um, and then block. Bye bye.
mhm,
See you later. Adios.
yeah.
Because because those kind of accounts, you don't need to boost those accounts by
Mm-mm.
like engaging with them any more than what you have to. That's kind of why I really like the idea of having like the AEW had a great pay-per-view bingo. I really like that idea of like just having all like the shit that like you just know that people are gonna say
Mhm.
after a good show, and then like all you have to do is like just reply like tick, just ticking
You
off
did
the
it.
number.
Thanks for giving me bingo. Though
Exactly.
I am bad at sometimes giving people probably way too much of a platform because I am known to requote people that I think have really bad takes.
Hmm.
Like, and then I hashtag bad wrestling takes, like, because I get
Yeah,
the worst people sometimes with like the most obscene takes, and I'm like, "No, I'm gonna call you out," and then it
exactly.
feels like everyone else attacks them too, and I'm like, "Yes, I feel vindicated."
Exactly. And that just like is also a part of where you're coming from too, though. That this is your mission in, your wrestling social, war, so to speak. It's yeah,
No,
so it's good.
it's a
Like
little bit of a war.
it can be, but like as long as you're having fun, that's the
Mhm.
main thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it starts to
Yeah,
like, affect you a little bit more, then we'll just have to like call ceasefire for a second. But as long as you're still having fun with it, and yeah, then I say
there are some
keep
days I
going.
need to put down the phone and walk away and just be like, "You are
Mm,
affecting my mood. That's an immediate block," and
yes.
I
But
walk
that's
away.
exactly a difference. Yeah, there is a difference between like certain levels of engagement, eh? Like you
Mhm.
can kind of tell where someone's coming from with the words that they use, and you're just like, oh yeah, no,
But
you
yeah,
gotta
there's been
go.
some m very misogynistic
Mm,
people
yeah.
that say some really bad things.
Well, we will see what happens, when we release this one. It's always fun. I don't really give two flying fraggles, to be honest. I just love having fun and talking about women's wrestling and making my autofocus go crazy. Why? We are here to talk about women's wrestling. Who's your favorite women's wrestler at the moment in AEW?
I mean, Megan Bayne.
Yeah?
I'm a Bayne bitch. I
Are
absolutely love
you?
her. Yes, I love her. And it's very hard because I also love Toni Storm, but Megan
Yeah.
Bayne, there is just and it could be selfishly that I always joked my gimmick would be something similar to her, and like
Ah,
down
no, I
to the
can see
crown in the
why.
with the gear,
Yeah.
and I'm So when the first time she came out, I said, "Bitch stole my gimmick
Yeah.
and my gear."
Oh my goodness, I feel the exact same way about Julia Hart. Yeah. So I absolutely get that. Absolutely get that when you're like, oh, that is what I would be. That's absolutely what I would be. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I love
So
that.
I just have a weird crush on her right now. So I'm like, I don't know if it's I want to be like her best friend or I want to be her. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I like her. She's cool.
Am
She can kick some
I
butt.
am I the Harley Cameron best friend or am I the Mariah May best
Best
friend?
friend.
There's a difference.
There is a difference. There's a huge, maybe a little bit of both.
So, how are we all doing? Is everyone okay? Have you all had enough time to catch your breath after last week's episode of Dynamite? Where, oh my goodness, as I was writing this script, it was the day afterwards. We watched the episode at a friend's place because he hurt his leg really badly. And I was just like, oh, why don't we just bring AEW to him? So we brought it to him. And one of us in the group, his lovely lady, she hadn't actually seen an episode before. She's heard me she's heard me like talk about it and stuff, but like that was her first actual episode.
What an episode to watch.
Loved it.
Oh.
Honestly, sidebar, she loved it. She absolutely loved it. She really loved the
What's not to
storytelling.
love?
Yeah. She really loved the storytelling. So stick that in your urethra, you tribalist AEW haters. There you go.
You know, I am
who
someone
just-
who reads a lot. And the fact
Yeah.
is, I like AEW tells stories. You just have to pay attention. Like you do when you read.
Yes. Yes, exactly. If you're like only half paying attention to what you're watching, you're gonna miss all the little
Everything.
things.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
the commentary. The commentary moves those stories of,
Especially.
like,
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Which is kind of a little bit tricky when you're in like a situation of watching wrestling with me because I get really chatty and I get really involved, but I also love listening to the commentary as well. So I'm my own worst enemy. So all the time. Oh, I just love getting involved. You just literally can't shut me up. Like I would try.
same.
Yeah. I'd try to. I'd still be like,
when I was at the Asheville taping, I just was talking to everyone around me, and I'm sure that they got to the point where they were just like, "Shut this girl up!" I'm like,
okay, so it's still going. That's good.
There's no commentary. I have to make my own.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, is she gonna be doing this all night? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, she is. And it's awesome.
You sit and hear
Like
me at a live event, I apologize.
Yep.
No, hell no. Don't apologize. No apologizing over here for getting into it.
No,
at
you're
the
right.
live
Sorry
events.
is no longer in my vocabulary. I no
Especially
longer
when
know
it
how to
comes
say I'm sorry.
exactly. Especially when it comes to your wrestling enjoyment.
Yeah, it's still
because
it's streaming through the website.
it
so-
is.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Oh shit. We can hear you, Shane.
Oh, can
like-
you?
Yeah, hi.
My bad.
You've totally I thought you were like joining in on the conversation and I was like, oh yeah, sweet. But then like you said something completely irrelevant and I heard like your brother, I think, and I was like, oh, I don't think we should be hearing this.
Yeah, no, I didn't think because I didn't put myself like on the actual show. Like I didn't bring myself in through my phone.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Yeah.
realize you could hear me. But yeah, cool. Well, yeah. You guys
You
keep
learned
going.
something new.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Learn on the fly. Our internet's been acting weird all day, so but
Well, it's a day for it apparently.
yeah. But you guys are still good, so we're good to go.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh, I think I was like throwing shade at like the AEW haters, I think.
Yes.
Something along those
And-
lines. Yes.
A lot of those haters deserve shade. every day, all
They
day. So.
do, and I mean, they're probably like, I don't know, they're probably like 12 years old. But like, if you're gonna like interact with people on the internet like a douche, like expect like some sassy shit to come back at you, like eventually,
Thank
like,
you.
come on, exactly. Like, if
There's
you're going
only
to
so many times
engage,
I can
expect
be.
the engagement.
There's
Carry on.
only so many times I can be polite before my sassy side comes out, and I think
Exactly.
because I'm so comfortable now
Yeah.
on the internet and talking about my
Yeah.
opinions, my sassiness
Yeah.
is just coming out. I don't care anymore. I'm like, you're gonna get it. And I'm not gonna go away.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what everyone should expect from you. Okay? So don't act all
I'm gonna put it in
surprised.
my bio. I am sassy. I am not nice. Like, please don't come
No.
here thinking I'm going to be nice.
Exactly. Exactly. If you have to put a little disclaimer up, like, there you have it. You've put it out there now. Now everyone who's listened to this now knows.
Mhm.
I mean, everyone who listens to this is, like a good cunt anyway, so we don't really have to worry about that. Unless but they can spread it to the other people,
People,
if you're gonna
yes,
interact with
you're
books
gonna
and
get
body
sass.
slams on the internet and you're gonna be a dick, you're gonna get it, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't care anymore.
Oh, exactly. But yeah, my friend absolutely loved it. She thought it was the best, absolute the best. And I think they're coming. I don't know if she is, but I know he's watched like I think a couple of episodes, and I think they're coming around again for this Dynamite. So who knows
Oh,
what's
that'd be
going
fun.
to
And
happen.
hopefully then you can get them to watch Dynasty too, because I mean,
Oh, yes, I did actually say to her when we were leaving that I did have Dynasty already lined up. So, yeah,
okay,
she's free. And I think I have, because I work 2 Sundays and I don't work 2 Sundays. And I think one of them works out. So we'd be able to watch it live. So
that's
that would be
exciting.
exciting. That would be really, really exciting. So we're getting for Dynasty Bayne and Tony. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna be a hard one.
Yes. And we haven't had anything else like formally announced,
Mhm.
have we, for the women?
No,
No, I didn't
no.
think so. Yeah. That's gonna be that's gonna be a little interesting one, isn't it? To see
Yeah,
how
because
they because like Bane is stronger, but
mhm,
she's nowhere near she's nowhere near as talented in the way of the layers that Tony
uh,
Storm has to her wrestling,
yes.
Like, I'm not like dissing her talent. I'm just saying, like there's like a lot more layers in
Mhm.
Tony's arsenal than what Megan Bayne has. And also
Oh,
Megan
yes.
Bayne has come from Stardom as well. So it's a different kind of, I mean, they're very strong, like, and they're very
Mhm.
hard hitting, but like Tony Storm is also used to that as well. And she's also like just physically the bigger opponent. So it's going to be interesting. But Bane has been very dominant apart from the match with Stat that we will be talking about tonight. Yeah. It's going to be exciting. But back
It's
to
gonna be
that.
really good
Yeah, I know, right? It's going to be
watching them.
so good. Ah! But yeah, back to that moment when we were watching watching the moment, everyone just had like such a visceral reaction, when like you actually realize, oh, that's really in there. Woo,
Mhm.
that got woo. When like fucking Yuta and his like skin stretched, it like just reminded me of watching Suspension. Like when you
Mm,
see, well, you may not see, but it does kind of give me the heebie-jeebies as well. Like I have to say, like I'm
I
all good with, like I'm all pierced and everything, but Suspension does give me like the
yes.
I
And
can't help it. And we're like,
I wanna give, like, a huge shout out to the production crew who quickly, like, was like, "Alright, let's
yeah,
keep the camera
you've had enough.
off of this." Like,
Yeah,
we're
okay.
for the sickos, but this is still kind of like it
Yeah,
wasn't,
yeah.
like, necessarily even that gross. It was just seeing the
No,
skin,
it
like
was. Yeah, just
like,
yeah.
like
Yeah, that was totally like a wow. didn't expect that to happen, but it has. Okay.
Mhm.
And you can like prepare for anything, and stuff is going to happen, all the time. And that's just what happened. Everything worked out
Yeah,
fine, didn't
it did.
rip out any of his
It,
skin. It's perfectly fine.
and it was interesting. A doctor, actually, a physician, posted on the
No,
AEW subreddit,
no way.
and how it was not as dangerous as everyone's saying because the nails
What?
aren't that big. So like he was never
Oh,
at risk of actually hurting anything other than his skin. And
I
he's like, the
saw.
moment he got up from it,
Yeah.
it was no longer dangerous because
Oh,
it did not
no,
hit any part of his spine to like
not
do
at
anything.
all.
It was like
Not
you could see
at
that
all.
they were dull. Like that's what makes me
Yeah,
laugh is I love the backstage stuff. Like I would love a whole
me
show
too.
like learning how like that kind of stuff gets made
That
where it's
would
like,
be a
okay,
great
it's nails,
show.
but it's like it's dull. And it may
Yeah,
ruin it for some people, but for
they don't have to
the
watch
more
it.
theater geek in me, I'm like, I want to know
Yeah.
how they did that.
Me
Like,
too, me too. Because it's like, yeah, they're like they were created perfectly, to not go so far.
far.
And it's like I saw like snippets of people like saying really stupid shit about like piercing his spine and stuff. And I was like, have you like never seen a fucking needle that like has to like go into like someone's
Yeah, they're
spine?
like
Like there,
you it's
hello, hello, get some brain cells, would you? Oh, Jesus Christ. My goodness.
wait,
I honestly just
you've never had
sorry?
I've never had an epidural, but I
No, me
know
neither.
that those
There's
are
yeah,
huge
exactly,
needles because it has to get
exactly.
into your back.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those big
Like,
ass epidural needles. That's worrying. Jesus Christ. Like
yes.
still the syringe in the cheek is still more dangerous than that because there is actually like, some like funky little things. I'm not saying that that spot was dangerous because everything was done, to make it perfectly fine. It was like an
And
amazing visual. But the
I
act
still
of
love as a
doing that.
germaphobe that they showed him uncovering the needle, and I was like,
Me too.
thank you.
Me
Thank you.
too. Me too. All we needed extra was like, if he just like, give it a little like alcohol wipe, got some like gloves on and like put it in. That would be great. That would be so, so great. Oh my goodness. But yes, that's all we're going to talk about that now because we're moving on to, women's wrestling. It's great.
Yes.
I also wanted to say that I hope everyone enjoyed episode 3, which came out with Brett Michelle. That was a lot of fun. I love having guests, which is why I'm so glad that we have you here, Christy, to talk with. Yay, yay. And the fact that you are a new but very passionate wrestling fan is brilliant. Like,
Mhm.
did you ever watch any of like WWE at all?
So I started watching wrestling. It's coming on 7 years. Um,
Uh-huh.
so I started watching with WWE, but
Yeah.
it really was only I would watch if Alexa Bliss was on,
Fair.
Sasha, or
Fair.
Demon Finn Balor. Not Finn Balor,
Fair.
Demon Finn
Fair.
Balor.
Yeah. He would go away.
But other than those certain wrestlers, I really it was kind of like, and Bray Wyatt.
Ooh, yeah. He's what got me all like back into like the real like of wrestling again. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Other than that, it was like background noise, and then it really
Hmm.
wasn't. There's certain matches I remember when I started to like AEW that stuck
Yeah.
out. One of them being Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa in the steel
Wasn't that
cage,
brilliant?
and
Wasn't that
thinking,
brilliant?
oh my God, they're allowing women to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like
and
actual.
have thumbtacks and all this other stuff. And I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah. And they looked fucked. They looked sweaty. They were
Hmm.
bloody. They were like, just throwing everything into it. And like none of it was glamorous, but they were still like glamorous. But they
Yeah,
were
they still somehow looked
oh,
amazing afterwards, covered
yeah,
in
right. Like
and I
iconic.
like,
Mm,
so that was like one of the matches that made me like I have like 3 AEW matches that made me like pay attention, and
yeah,
that was one of them.
yeah.
Um, And like it just at that point I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to give this show a try. So
Oh, and here you
it
are.
happened. Yeah.
Yay. Oh,
Yeah, I was
we've
and like became like a little obsessed with Britt Baker for a while
Oh, me
because of that
too.
match.
No, me too. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, me too. I got her little figure and like the
I
whole
have an autograph version somewhere.
yeah, me
It got lost in
too.
my move and I'm so mad.
Oh no, because yeah, I got that. Oh, I have stuff over there, but I'm not gonna run and get it. But yeah, 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 I've got like the same thing. Yeah, I love all that. I have like a zombie Halloween AEW shirt. Oh, I was a massive, massive fan of hers, which is why it really sucked like when she came back.
Mhm.
And it was just so closely entwined with her like real life relationship break
Yeah.
with Adam Cole, and Adam Cole was also coming back at the same time if before. Um, and people can be and like wrestling fans can be really fickle like
So
fuckers
mean.
and
Yeah.
so mean. And she's like trying to do this like promo in the middle of the ring talking about like this really scary stuff
Like the
and
girl almost
like
died and people are booing her. And I'm like,
they were booing her. What are you doing? Like this is actually for real. Like
yeah,
just because just because she broke up with or he broke up or just because they had like a real life breakup of something that has nothing to do with anything, like like don't bring that in here, right? Like
yeah. I mean,
we had a
even
bit
the
of
backstage
fan
drama.
involvement with Sammy Guevara. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like the whole Sammy Guevara and Tay, like whole sorry, Ty, Tay, Ty. Is it Ty or Tay?
I
Do
think
we know?
Ty,
Do we
Ty,
Ty?
Ty
Okay.
Conti, Ty Conti.
Um, yeah, like the fans got really like involved in that, and I am guilty. But he did like the whole like thing in the middle of the ring, like don't bring your relationship into the
Mhm.
middle of the ring. If like you can't expect fans to be like, hey, but you brought this to our zeitgeist.
Yeah.
You put this into like AEW storyline now
Mhm.
by doing this here. I don't care if this is a real life thing. You've done it in the ring, therefore it is now part of kayfabe. And now, in this, you are no longer with her, and you're now with someone who, like 80% of the Larry wrestling fans probably wanted to she's my girlfriend. And they got all pissed off and then that whole shabacle happened. Yeah, but yeah, I guess just don't propose in the middle of the ring, please, people.
Yeah,
Just don't do it. Don't do it.
it's
Unless it's your
it's funny
own
because that's
ring
the
in your
stuff that makes me
backyard.
stop want to watching. Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
first
I'm
turned
not a
off
big fan.
AEW because of the Kip Sabian Penelope Ford wedding,
Oh, that
and
wasn't
I was
great,
like,
and I
I'm not
love
watching this.
them.
I was
Yeah,
like,
no
I
fear.
don't like this stuff. I was
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I was not a fan either, but I love them. Like, I
yes,
really
love
love them.
them.
Oh, so I was
I
like so
just
I watched it and stuff, but I was like, "Oh, really? Do we
I
have
think
to?"
for I think I remember this was also when Bobby Lashley and like Lana or something was happening on WWE. It was like
I
a
think
fake
that was around the
relationship,
same time.
and I was like, I hate all of this. I don't want to
I
watch
hated
any of
that
this.
too. Yeah, yeah. I was
I don't
still
want to watch
watching.
this.
Yeah, I think that was one of the storylines that kind of made me kind of turn it off for like realsies as well. And then when they brought CJ into AEW, and then all of a sudden there was like another like not like cheating storyline, but like a
But
breaking up and I'm with this other guy's cheating line. I'm not quite too sure where these storylines keep coming from, but
yeah,
stop it, please.
yes. I think relationships can be done in ring if done correctly. I don't
Mm,
know if I don't know in the since I've been watching if there's a storyline I've liked.
in that kind of regard.
Yeah, but
I
besides Mariah May and Tony Storm.
Yeah, but that was kind of that's kind of different though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually might ponder on that and see if I can come up with any kind of examples that are either like the worst or like, hey, actually that one wasn't too bad because you know the divas had to have been involved in a whole bunch of them. Anyway.
And it's still happening over on
So
the other
it
other
is.
one.
Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Come on.
Well, it
They've
was
had
the
many,
whole
many, many, many years.
Dirty Dom, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
that's right. They did that.
as a woman, that stuff drives me nuts when you have
Me
then
too.
Toni Storm and Mariah May happening over here. And it's
Yeah.
like, those are two
Yeah.
very different stories.
Mhm.
And one of them is showing that women can wrestle
Mm.
without it being a love triangle.
Yeah. Like basically a man doesn't have to be involved for
Mhm.
women wrestlers to have a good storyline or a
Story.
storyline at all.
Mhm.
And yeah, it does kind of suck because from what I've seen, yeah, it looks like Dom's kind of like really leaning into like Eddie Guerrero, which I know is his dad, but like, oh no, wait, it's not his dad. Fucking hell, my brain was like, hang on. He's turning into him, but it doesn't mean that, yeah. He was
Well,
right.
in Dom's mind, he is Eddie Guerrero's son.
In kayfabe, he is.
Yeah.
In kayfabe, he actually is.
Even
In
though when you
kayfabe,
look
he
at a
is
young Rey
biologically Eddie's
Mysterio,
son.
when you look at a young Rey
Oh.
Mysterio, it is Dom. It is
Yeah.
very creepy.
Ooh, I bet it is.
I'm like,
Oh.
this is I think that could be a whole storyline that they can go with without involving women and just let
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley be Rhea Ripley. Like,
Yes, that would be great. That would be really, really great. I've like I said, I don't talk really much about WWE women, but I have said one thing on here. I think it was in episode 1, I think, that I'm probably the only person with this opinion, but I really want Charlotte Flair out of WWE and in AEW because I want her to have a chance to wrestle as not Charlotte Flair, like just not be Charlotte Flair at all, just be something completely different. I don't know if she has the ability to do that anymore because like I say, like I don't watch it. I know she's had some awful injuries and I know people keep saying awful things about her plastic surgery and those people can go take a running jump off the fucking cliff because that woman can do whatever the fuck she wants with her face. And if it looks a certain way, that's to her. You know, if she needs support, give her support. If she doesn't ask for your opinion, don't give your fucking opinion, all right? Because that's
and
we'll
I
start
think that's
talking
about
about your
any
looks.
woman in general.
Oh
Men
yeah,
should not,
That's
like, I got
yeah.
someone made a comment about Britt Baker and I went off on that person. I was like, you don't
Fair.
get to comment on that. Like,
No. Like, are we talking
Like-
appearances? I mean, I know they're putting themselves on television, but you're putting yourself on social media and there's comment in this way.
Yes.
So
if you have a
would you like
photo,
me
I
to
can go
address
after
you?
you.
Yeah. Would you
I'll
like
zoom
me to
in
address
and
you?
find flaws.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Oh my goodness. So we are in sunny Omaha tonight for Dynamite. I had no idea that there was a blizzard going on. Holy crap. Where exactly is Omaha? Is it in the middle, top?
I know. I think it's in
We
the
don't
middle.
know. Is it
I'm
in the
really
middle?
bad at my geology, my locations, and
No fear.
to me, it's East Coast, West Coast,
Yeah.
South,
Uh-huh.
Northern border, and that's it.
Smush.
The middle states are all mushed into one.
I mean, just got some little mush going on there. Yeah, what was it? Oh, I thought Detroit was in a completely different place than what it is for so long. And then I was like, oh, it's up there. And then I completely changed again. It's like, oh, no. I don't know why. I put things in all different areas. But there was a blizzard.
America's a weird place.
It's fucking huge. It's insanity. And so we're at Dynamite and it erupts into life with fire and fireworks. Do you love that AEW has fire cannons now? Isn't this brilliant?
Yes.
It looks so cool, eh? I love it way better than like all of the fireworks because it must be quite nice for everyone who has like sensory stuff as well. Because I have some sensory stuff, and even though I like like the visual of them, I'm not really a big fan of fireworks. So I would definitely prefer
It It's
fire.
definitely loud there. Like
I
I
can
sat the
imagine because
last
you're
show I
in.
was at, I sat at the entrance ramp and
Oh,
it
so
was
you were
loud.
right next to them. Is it really
Yeah,
loud? Yeah.
it's loud.
Yeah. I mean, it was lovely when AEW came on the scene and we had fireworks for intros again, because for ages when I'd been watching the other stuff, there wasn't any of like that pageantry and stuff. They were trying to do like this 3D thing, and that was just weird to me. I was like, am I only seeing this on the television? Do other people see this? This is just weird. And it always looked a little hokey, and I'm like, I ain't buying it. But yeah, so when AEW came back and everything was like it was like, fuck yeah, fucking just throwing money into the sky. But yeah, you can only do that for so long because fireworks are expensive and you can't reuse them. But you can reuse fire cannons. And they've got that cool like laser kind of stuff that they had for, who was it? Who got was it Mariah?
Maybe.
Did Mariah? Yeah, I think so. And I think Okada gets them as well. But they're very, and Kenny gets them too. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I love all the fire. I
Kenny
love how
should get
AEW
everything.
is. Oh yeah, and give that man everything. Exactly. Long life and health and joy and love and kindness and all the lovely cuddles and no awkward social interactions for our Kenny Omega. Thank you. Woo! Okay. Speaking of another Canadian, I'm going to put like my really obscure like YouTube thing out there. So in my household, we watch this guy called Camping with Steve. He's a Canadian and he does stealth camping, and he is the camping version of Kenny Omega.
Oh,
I
okay.
shit you
I've
fucking
been
not. You
really
need to look him up.
into
Look him up.
I've been really
You
into
need to.
stealth camping lately, and I have no idea. It literally was a
He's a
random YouTube
sweetheart.
video.
He's a sweetheart. He
What was
really
his
is.
name?
It's Camping with Steve. He is, everyone go there. He's the best guy, and he is camping Kenny Omega. So yeah, how can you go wrong? How can you go wrong at all?
I
So
cannot say why.
while Christy is off looking for that, we will get on. We will
Oh my
get on
God,
to-
yes.
Yes,
he
right?
looks just like Kenny.
Right? Ha! It has been
If
confirmed.
Kenny was like a hipster.
Yes. And like we have seen that other people have also made this connection, so I want to spread it out to in like the wider world. You know, he's brilliant. We need the two of them together in a photo. We need the two of them.
Do it, Kenny.
Do it, Kenny.
I know I'm on a
Camping
list
with
for
Steve
like
and
a red
Omega.
flag list for Kenny Omega, so someone tell him he needs to do this.
So my Kenny Omega rewards have been revoked. I'm sorry. Can you please pass this through someone else? Well done. So
And
tonight
honestly, I'm probably getting on a Megan Bayne list too.
Don't worry. I think maybe like a third of the sickos are also on that exact same list.
And the other half
And
is
the
on
other-
the Chris Statlander list.
Yeah, I think we're broken into thirds. We've got like Stat, Bayne, and then in the middle you've got like the mishmash of Queen Amanada fans who are just like here to have some fun.
They're not on any list.
No, they're not on any list, you know. We're good. So we're getting the TBS champion tonight, the CEO for Belts Monet, Mercedes Monet, who may or may not be an owner of 4 boats secretly and or otherwise. All rumors started here are 100% factual as to the law of bullshit. Okay, so you just remember that. She is taking on Billy Starks. Do you know much about Billy Starks? I'm only just learning much about him.
A little bit. I'm really behind on ROH.
Oh no, fair. I'm fully just like in the know now, so don't worry about it.
But from what I've seen, I think that there's some potential there.
Oh yeah,
And
she seems like a real sponge for the knowledge. Like she's being taught really well, and she's
yeah,
I putting
think
in the
that
work. You
teaming
can
her
see it.
up with
Athena.
I was gonna say Amber Moon. So,
I miss that. I love that song. Carry on.
the teaming her up with Athena has been really good for her.
It has a yeah. It was
I
a
think
brilliant
AEW's been
idea.
really good at that, teaming up people. Like, I mean, same with like when you think about like Harley Cameron, like her even
Yes,
Soraya for the small time she was
that was really good.
did wonders for her.
Oh, it really did. It was even doing wonders for Soraya. You know,
Yeah.
it was like softening her up a little bit and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah, no, it did really, really well. It'd be interesting when she comes back what their
Dynamics could be.
interaction would their dynamics. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you. Like whether or not Soraya will come in and still expect Harley to be subordinate to her, and maybe she wouldn't, want to go with that. That could be
Are
very
we gonna get a
interesting.
Soraya puppet?
We could. Oh my god. Okay. We manifest a lot of things on this show, and we are now just putting that one out there. We are manifesting the Soraya puppet in our future. Thank you very much. We don't know when she's coming back. We haven't heard, but we'll see. We also have hot off the press AEW Women's News. Mina Shirakawa may or may not be hitting here. Woo!
We
want
got Mina.
Yes, we do want Mina. Everyone wants Mina. Now we just need Maki Iko and everything will be fine. I cannot wait. I really, really hope like there's no like official, but I'm
I
allowing
feel
myself.
like it's the amount of time she's been on AEW, I feel like super confident in this.
Yeah. I think she'll have a great career over here.
God, I remember Mariah and Mina when they first came over, and I really didn't know anything about Stardom at the time. And I sat there and I was like, holy crap, there's a whole other section of women's wrestling that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
And
whole world.
And they're incredible. Like
yeah. That brings me to something I heard you say on oh god, why do I always get this wrong? Sorry, Blade and Joshi. Is sit down or is it shut up
sit
first?
down,
Am I
shut up, mark out.
I'm sitting down first and then I'm shutting up.
Shutting up.
So I sit my ass down and then I shut up and then I start to mark out. Okay, sit down, shut up, mark out. You brought up a really, really cool idea on that in regards to the Stardom and women's roster, like pay-per-view.
Yes.
Give me that, please. Like just the whole pay-per-view of just them, please.
I want an AEW Stardom pay-per-view, just the AEW women's versus Stardom, because so many of those talents, like, I mean, Mercedes shines so well when she is wrestling anyone for Stardom. I stop what I'm doing and I just sit there going, let this woman wrestle every single person. Like, give her a 5th belt and give her a Stardom belt so she can also be in Stardom. Like,
well, that's what I kind of thought would be happening, to be honest.
Me too. I thought she would get Stardom before Rev Pro, which I was a little surprised at. But
me too. But I thought it was coming.
Yeah, I think that they have such potential to do a women's pay-per-view with, and you can even bring in CMLL, but like, start like a Stardom AEW crossover where it's a whole pay-per-view of like all these incredible talents. Like, book it, Tony. I'm that meme of Tony right now. Book it.
Yes. favorite one ever. Book it. Give us that. You can do it. It will sell. It would sell. You'd make so much money, and we would be so happy. We would we would.
I would shut up about more women's wrestling if I got that.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing. You would shut us up for at least 5 months for that.
At least 5 months.
At least
it was
5.
that good.
Yeah. Because just imagine what could come out of it as well. Like, me and Britt Michelle, in episode 3, we were talking about what we wanted with Tony Storm, like now. And like, like having little rivalries within the roster, building them up a little bit more, getting more time on, television and stuff. Like you need these just little bits and pieces where like, you don't just throw like maybe 1 or 2 and be like, here, Now you're going to watch these ones for like a really, really long time. Okay. And like, then we'll build them up and then we'll move on to the other ones. No, 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 no. Give us like little pop-ups of
Mhm.
like everyone, either intermingling, because then they can either form alliances or rivalries during that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
like get some little tag matches getting in there. Just all these just little like hundreds and thousands sprinkles of little
Mhm.
women's matches, and I think that would really do a lot to spice it up for
Mhm.
2025. And then you have all this like base to like build like those
Mhm.
individual like little tendrils that come up, because we can still have, like now like Monet and Athena, they can take off and like be like the main storyline for a little while. They'll definitely have like, you can definitely get a best out of
Oh,
3
yeah.
with them for fucking sure. And you could get 100% like a normal match, a cage match, a hardcore match. Like you could even have like another Falls Count Anywhere match with those two. Easy freaking peasy. Like
Mhm.
it writes itself. And then everyone else is just, doing this other stuff. Obviously, like we've got the world champ. She's like, whoop, 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 whoop. But yeah, I think that would be really great. I think that'd be
Yeah.
really, really great. Yeah.
I'm personally manifesting. I know we all want a women's main event for the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I want it to be Toni Storm and Mercedes.
Yeah.
I don't
That
know
would be
how they're
good.
going to get those two in a story right now, because I have a theory the reason why they gave her the TBS
Yeah.
championship was because they had
Mhm.
to finish Toni and Mariah before they
Yes.
had her go after the world title.
Yeah. Well, she can
Because
collect
at
more
some
belts and
point
votes.
Mercedes is going to get the world title. You're not
Very
going to not
much.
put the world title on Mercedes.
Goodness no.
And
Goodness no. Yeah,
for
that's
me,
definitely going to
I
happen.
really want Mercedes to be one of the to not now to be the first woman to main event
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
AEW
That would be
pay-per-view,
great.
and then she'd be the first woman to main event pay-per-views for both major promotions.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Yeah, that'd be a good point. Well, we already want Mercedes to go on like her quest for belts. So she's going to
Mhm.
have to get the world belt off Tony eventually if this is going to
Eventually.
happen. So purely just motivation of just thinking she's better and wanting it.
Mhm.
That's an easy seed to start off
Yeah.
something. And then I'm sure the two of them will be able to blossom something
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
from that. Very, very much.
I
Because you couldn't just have like one match for that one either. No, that would
No,
have
no,
to be
that
some
would
sort of
be
long series.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it can be one of those storylines where it happens and then it fades, and then
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
back.
Like they did
Um,
with Mariah. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
this is what I'm manifesting.
Yeah.
My
I like
AEW
it.
started pay-per-view and Mercedes and Tony main eventing a pay-per-view.
Yeah. That would be great. That would be great. Book it. We need it. We
Okay,
need this
Tony.
in our life. Book it. All right. So we had Billy come and fight Monet. Like we all knew, and this is not with shade. We all knew that Starks wasn't going to, win, but all of us had a pretty big feeling that she was gonna it wasn't gonna be easy for her, you know? Like it wasn't gonna be like a squash match from Monet. But Starks wasn't gonna go down quickly, that kind of thing. I think I just said like the same thing like twice. This is what happens when I'm moving my hands like this in my face and my brain is going, what are we talking about? But yeah, she did really well though. But doesn't
Mhm.
Monet look like $1 million when she comes out all draped in Olivia gold?
Yes.
She looks so good. Oh my goodness. And like like all of the crowd were like behind both women too, which was brilliant. It was really good. Like Omaha, you were a great crowd. Your
Great crowd.
your participation in like a knowing your role kind of way was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You guys did really well. Like they were behind both women and you could see it really pump them up to like put everything into this match. Not that they wouldn't have anyway, but if you're giving them something, they're going to give that little extra out. And if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, this is boring and boring and boring, the more time you sit there like just looking at them with like a sourpuss look on the face, the worse the match is going to be.
Mhm.
If you just like let yourself like go into it, you don't have to be a smart about every like worked punch you've seen in your life. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Come on, just let yourself go. We always say here, let yourself bloody go, because it makes it so much more better for everyone involved, especially the people that you are apparently like fans of,
Yeah.
Like,
Wrestling should be fun. And if you're not having fun,
yeah,
something's wrong. And
it
I
is.
can't imagine being a wrestler and the crowd not being into what I'm doing. It would probably
Oh, it'd
make
be
me be
heartbreaking.
heartbreaking and not want to give it your all. So like, I mean, you can
Mm,
like
it would. Yeah. It would really take that whole kind of, it would take all the soul
it hurts
out
an
of it.
ego.
Exactly. And there are. It's just way too beautiful, just like, watching everything unfold in front of you, like if you see flaws, you see flaws, but I mean these are the people that, would see someone like fall down like in the street and like probably laugh at them. I've been there, I've done that. I was young, I was a cunt.
As the person who
But that's
falls, I laugh at myself. So
yeah. Oh, exactly. I do too. And it's okay to laugh at yourself. I mean, right now, even though
but
I
don't
know
laugh
I
at
know
me
it's
when I fall.
hilarious. Yeah. Unless I know you, and then it's fine. But but not if you're a stranger, all right? Oh dear. But no, that went really, really well. The two women, like, they really, really put it on. I mean, Monet, of course, ended up winning, which we knew was gonna happen. But like Starks is only 20. She's a little 20-year-old.
It's
She's like got
crazy.
how much she's learned in that small amount of time is
Mhm.
insane. You can say like the same about Julia as well. Like Julia's
Yeah.
still very young and also started in AEW, I think maybe 20 or 21. But yeah,
I thought Julia was 19 when she was signed.
oh yes, no, that is sounding really familiar. Yes,
Because I
no, I
remember
think
when
you're
she got
absolutely
married,
right.
I was like, wait, you're 21?
That's true.
I
That's
was like,
true. If she got married at 21, then yeah, she would have been 19 when she started.
yeah.
Oh,
AEW has a lot of incredibly amazing young talent right now.
they really do.
Or
It's a young,
like,
yeah.
and
It's a young roster. Yeah. It's a young, very talented roster. They're obviously getting nurtured in the right way
yes.
backstage and in training, which is
Mhm.
so good to see because you see it when they come out and they perform. You really can. Yeah. It's really, really good. Another like sidebar I just want to like add on to this was that it was really wonderful to hear Excalibur, Tony, and Taz commentate on this match because they themselves have learnt to use better language to describe the women's matches without it coming off all like, oh, that wasn't quite right, or like, just being too PC to the point where it kind of comes off a little condescending, but you know that they're not meaning it in that way. But as a woman hearing things in certain ways, you're just like, no, that's just not right. And I can only speak for myself here, but like having terms like the women's world champion instead of just world champion, um, like having things like lumberjills for lumberjack matches. I hate that. Lumberjills is so cringe. I personally really, really hate that. I also hate it when they change it from last man standing to last woman standing because for me, right? And this is where it gets really like, this is purely just from my point of view because this is just how the way I think about things. I take the meaning of the word man, like when it's in that context, as from the word human, not from men
Yeah.
specifically. I take that from the shortened hand of human. So it includes us all. I don't. Yeah, I just see the classifications kind of makes it more separate.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's why when I talk about, like, I mean, for one, when I'm talking about a world champion, it's a women's world champion anyway because it's this podcast. But even if I wasn't, I would still just say world champion because they're the world champion. Doesn't matter that
They
they're
are
the
the world
women's world
champion.
champion. Yeah, they're the world champion. Yeah, you don't go around saying they're the men's world champion because I think that would be really stupid too. They're just the world champion of their division, and their division just happens to be the women's division, just like the men's just happens to be the men's division. But you don't have men's tag team champions, and just because you had men's tag team wrestling before women's wrestling was allowed to be created, doesn't mean that it's like secondary. It's just the thing that now women are now also doing. Yeah. So I just wanted to get that out there.
Despite the fact that I think AEW needs more women's wrestling,
Yeah,
I think that they are doing a really great job at allowing the women to be treated like equals in the ring by doing these matches, like Tony Storm and Mariah May bleeding the way they did. You wouldn't have seen a couple years ago, right? Like they're allowed to go
Not
out
on,
there and put on the
Western.
same caliber of matches.
Yeah.
As
It
the men
was
are, and
beautiful.
I think it makes me so happy. As someone who doesn't mind that kind of stuff, I'm like, yes, do it. Beat the crap out of each other.
Me too. Yeah.
Take
Me
that
too.
glass.
Me.
Yes.
Hell yeah. And
Take out that bat. Let's do it.
Exactly. Whack it good. That's why, when Penelope, when she went to, whack Thunder, but it was a very hesitant kind of whack. That was just a warning. It's just a warning. She didn't have to go and cripple the woman right then and there. She was just like that whole thing that bullies do when they do a real big swing up and they run and they go boop, that kind of thing. People I like to get into wrestling in that kind of way. A thing may have looked weird, but hey, let's talk about it like this though. Yeah. If we talk about it like this, you don't have to be such a dick about it, do you? It's really, really annoying. But things being so black and white with the whole men women thing, that kind of language, I mean, it's very personal, okay? So I'm not saying everyone now needs to stop using language like that, because I'll have an internal little roll of my eye, but I'm allowed to do that just like you're allowed to say that, okay? Just don't take that as a personal attack onto you. It's okay. We can just be good in yourself. It's all right. You use the ones that you want. It's fine. Oh dear. So I was just looking at the time and we're just having a lovely little chat. But I don't want this to get into the epic monologues of of episodes of past. So is there anything else you wanna say?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just more wrestling and more wild women's wrestling.
Yeah, more wild women's wrestling. Hell yeah. Give me that, eh? So if you want to,
if I was a wrestler, I'd be like, put me in a steel cage match and let me have weapons.
yeah. Absolutely. No, I would be too. I would be so in there. Yeah, I really can't wait until going back and talking about the other matches. And if you want to, and when I get to them, you are more than welcome to come on and we can have a chat about the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker cage match, because that would be great.
I've been wanting to rewatch it, so that gives me an excuse to rewatch it.
Exactly. We'll line it up in the future and do a little bit of that. Yeah, that would be really great.
We'll stay better on topic that time.
No, I'm used to just not staying on topic unless it's me and then I've got everything all rambled on. But if I've got someone to chat with, we're just gonna chat, okay?
Yeah,
we're just gonna chat women's wrestling. Exactly, it's fine. Alrighty, we'll plug
better.
The bloodier it is, the better. Exactly. Oh yeah. And enjoy women's wrestling. All right, thank you so much Give me your pluggables. I'm trying to get out of my mouth. Give me your,
Well,
your social.
on everything. Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube at Books and Body Slams. Be prepared. I'm sassy, and
Yes. Disclaimer. We've already put it out there. This
disclaimer.
is the
I'm
second
very
one you have
sassy.
now.
And I have some wild takes. I think I'm funny, but
No, you are funny. You are funny. Casually, like just really effortlessly funny. And I love the takes. Keep it coming.
oh yeah. And when I eventually get my Twitch set up, I think it's going to be really funny.
That's going to be real funny. So if you already follow her, then you'll be able to get that news whenever that comes, because we'll be posting it everywhere. Yay, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're right. I might do like a little extra little like say goodbye to everyone, some rundown and stuff, and then I'll see you later.
Sounds good.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're going to continue on with Dynamite. Thank you again to our wonderful guest. Please go check her out. She is brilliant. And she's got wonderful takes. You will like enjoy the follow, that's for sure. So we've got the remarkable tight-lipped Renee Bxtch this evening in her stylish black jacket. She tries to not confuse me, but make me forget about her involvement with certain people with her fancy dress, and I will not stand for it. I will not be blinded by your magnificence, remarkable Renee. We will have a talk later. We never will. I live on like the bottom of the planet. But in my head, I have said many things. So Renee congrats the champ on her success, because by the way, she's brought the CEO in. I didn't mention that part before, because that fart. I didn't mention that part before, did I? No, I didn't mention that part before. So we got the CEO, and she is talking to her about her success. It's Mercedes' 16th title defense of this TBS championship. Can you believe that? I can't believe it's been that much already. Like, she's been the TBS champion for a while, but it still kind of feels new as well. So yeah, congratulations, champ. Renee brings up the kid again, taking it to the CEO tonight, because like we discussed with before, that was quite the battle, and she ended up, Billy Starks ended up pulling off this amazing what do you call electric chair power driver, which we were also calling the two-winged angel, which was kind of funny. That was astounding, but it was also like real close to the ropes, and Mercedes she put her leg out there, but she could have put like any part of her out there and she would have gotten those ropes, but she still took it to her. I am expecting some sass in reply from the CEO to Renee's praise of the kid, but I am very pleasantly shocked, because Renee, instead of chastising her like abilities, she actually complimented her on having heart. But she also did say that heart won't beat Renee, and that is very true. But heart will give you the motivation to get better to eventually beat Renee. So you may see that again. Mercedes utters a weighted sentence so carefully, as if the words were not a metaphoric herd of elephants rampaging through the arena, out onto the blizzard, straight to Athena's ears. Athena's blood will be boiling when she hears what she had to say. I will not be surprised if we see an Outrage Forever champ burst onto AEW television maybe next week. But people were expecting her sooner, so maybe she's just lurking in the shadows. Maybe Mercedes Moné will have a different opponent for Dynasty, and then we get Athena running in. I don't know. Would she run in on a match? Maybe. I kind of feel like she's a bit more calculated than just a simple running in on a match, though. We'll have to find out. We have many, many theories. And if we keep on going down this theory lane, we'll be here until like 5 million years from now, and no one needs any of that. But Mercedes Moné is on the Moné train, and it's hard to doubt her when she says that no one can stop her. I'm going to love watching them try, though. Not for dethroning 4 belts Benet. Too many crickets. How many nicknames am I giving this woman? But for the epic battles that they will ensue. Me and a lot of the other sickos really want Mercedes Moné versus Athena to be built up to clash at All In. Okay? Not Dynasty, All In. Okay? Give them the main event. Absolutely no one will be disappointed. It will sell out in like record numbers. We will all be extremely happy and sharing the absolute fuck out of it. And pay-per-views will be brought, you know, gold will rain down from the ceiling. Everything will be happy. All In, main event, Mercedes Moné versus Athena. Okay? Thank you. But our main event tonight for Dynamite is Megan Bayne versus Chris Statlander. Sickos wanted this as the main event, and we got it. So there's going to be a lot, well, kind of happy people. One of the last things all the Bayne and Stat sickos could agree on before the war was that it was going to be the main event. So we will take a moment to stand here and acknowledge the final time the Bayne and Stat fans were on the same side. Moving on. The drum roll and the strings and the world goes black and white. Timeless Tony Storm! And everyone is on their feet for the world champion. Timeless is ravishing in a body-hugging crimson lace dress that hits the floor. Yes, it does. It hugs her guns and billows at the wrists and amples at the bosom. Everyone's happy now that Timeless Tony Storm is here. Timeless hands her championship belt to Luther, and she glides to the ring, dancing and twirling her way to the announce desk, where she will be on commentary during the Bayne and Stat match. This is going to be a feast for the eyes, the heart, and the ears, darlings. Megan Bayne comes out first, and she is accompanied by Penelope Ford, which I am excited about. Megan Bayne is the walking goddess, and her gear is black trimmed with matching black detailing on her impressive headdress. It's a new one. So I do wonder how many she has. That woman is going to keep some creators in business for a very, very long time, which is another reason why I want her to have a very long, illustrious career, because a lot of people will benefit. Penelope is looking like her badass girl. She's like a badass old girl, and I love her. She's the best. The lights go down, and the drum fill of Statlander's music hits. Statlander comes out alone, which is ballsy. She is in her gray and green gear, and her face is a portrait of fury. Chris's jaw is set, and she is ready to fight. She is done with Bayne, and she just wants to hurt her. Whilst Timeless makes corpses out of our broadcasting team with details of Mr. Shivani's own Hollywood ending, the two women meet face to face in the ring, and you can just feel the excitement grow. We've all been waiting for this. Like, it's been a short amount of time, but we've really, really wanted this. Stat is still giving Megan the evils as Bayne looks down her nose at Stat. It's like Stat's here, and like Megan Bayne's like, because like she's a lot taller her, but Stat ain't intimidated by none of that. So it doesn't matter, to be tall to win. Clearly not anticipating the battle she will be engaging in, because she's very confident in herself, and that's fair, but will this be her downfall? Statlander blocks Megan's first attack, and from then on it's an exchange of heavy blows. Both women run the ropes but get caught with lariats, each of them chasing the other down to do the same, battling each other down. They collide in the middle of the ring, eventually leading to Chris being turfed out over the ring. Over the ring? Imagine that. Imagine if Megan Bayne was able to get Chris Statlander out on one side of the ring and then like heifer all the way over to the other side of the ring. Damn! That would be impressive. Timeless tells us that Statlander has won her respect, which is high praise. And on cue, Chris takes down Megan with a pendulum moonsault, which looks brilliant. She does it off the apron, and she just has that thing down. Megan is on the floor, and she is in pain, like as you would, because like Chris just missiled herself on top of her. Chris lets out a battle cry and catches a few quick breaths while Penelope yells encouragement from a safe distance. She's not getting involved. How and when, though, Penelope Ford will get involved is only a matter of time. Penelope won't be able to stop herself. She's like a born heel. She loves the chaos. She's like, oh, I see a match, and I just want to get my little fingers in there. The two have a deep dislike for each other. Megan gets manhandled back into the ring, which cannot be too much used to. Chris, on the other hand, has had a lot of matches against strong women. Chris Statlander was the one who ended Jade Cargill's epic run as TBS championship, shall we remember. The only woman in the entire roster and in some other rosters who was able to actually take that title off her. Let's not, rule her out. Megan is now standing in the ring and turns to see a Stat flying at her feet first. And Megan's catapulted across the ring and lands heavily in the far corner. That avalanche drop. That avalanche drop. No, I did it again. That avalanche shotgun drop kick knocked her on her ass, just like that sentence did to me. Apart from the landing part, I wonder what number on the fun scale this drop kick would score from Chris, because it looked fun, but it landed. Ouch. Penelope is desperately trying to yell at Megan to get her up, but Chris gets to her first, and she lays open palm strikes down on Megan's noggin. In other news, Timeless is giving herself another moniker of the Stormodo Dragon. Hey, I said that one go. Look at me. Can't say shotgun drop kick, but we can just throw out tornado. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have pushed it. I really shouldn't have. That was my own fault. Moving on. Taz tries to correct her, but Timeless knows what she said. The crowd counts along with Stat's strikes, but after she stops at 10, Megan shimmies out from the corner beneath Stat's legs, lagging in the legs. Stat flies at Megan with a crossbody, and Bayne catches her in mid-flight, stumbling slightly from the momentum, only very slightly, and after planting her feet, hiffs Chris over her head. She's very hiffy, is this woman. She's got a good hiff on her. We did talk about her hiffies last time, of the hippie over the road. See, now I can do the motions. You loving the video so far? The crowd counts along. No, we already did that. And she hiffed her, and then we got to this part again. So it will be Chris who surprises Megan next as she turns to find Stat on her feet, and a boot gets in her gut. A running drop kick to the side of the head put Bayne's on. Bayne's? There's multiple Baynes. No, calm down, people. There are not multiple Baynes. We're not going to start that one. You're all fucking heads are going to explode on the mat, and Chris goes in for the first pin. It's an angry kick out before 2 from Bayne, and you can see that she is not happy about being the first one to have been pinned. Chris is getting the upper hand over Megan, and nothing Bayne can do is giving her enough space to land any attacks of her own. After a beautiful back elbow from Stat and a compliment from our Timeless champ, Megan is laid out on the mat while Stat pounds on it, overflowing with energy as she glares at Bayne. Sidebar, not to get all fangirly, but we're going to. But AEW has a really, hot roster. I think I mentioned it. Did I mention? Yeah, we mentioned it before. We mentioned it before. Shame, we mentioned it before. Cut this whole sidebar out.
Will do.
Snip. Thank you. Because we went through that. This might happen. When I realize I've already spoken about things before with our dear books. All right, and we're back. Still. Cut that out. Oh, dear. All right, now we're back. Bayne still has not gained enough stamina to defend herself and is using the ropes to hold herself up. Statlander gives her no mercy, and after a knee to the face, Bayne seems groggy. Stat lines her up and runs at Bayne, but collides with the heel of Bayne's foot, which could not be fun, and then crashes down to the mat. And completely. We're not completing. We're completely stopping Chris's dominance of this match. That's That's what we're doing. Megan delivers some painful payback, and now it's Chris who's hurting, which can't be good. After a furious slap to Stat's face, Megan climbs to the middle rope for perhaps a suplex. And whilst the timeless one flabbergasts myself and the commentary team once again, Chris gives stiff shots to Bayne's ribs, stopping any potential match-ending move from her. Megan jumps down to shake the fog out of her brain, and when she runs into attack Stat, it is all right, back we go. Going back to Megan jumps down. God damn it. Megan jumps down to shake the fog out of her brain, and when she runs into attack on Stat, it is now Bayne who is met with the heel of Stat's butt. The heel of her butt. With Bayne down from her butt, Stat is on the top rope, ready to fly at Bayne. And the three amigos fluster on commentary. No. What is that line? No, we're going to cut that whole three amigos fluster on the commentary thing. What was that about? I had some thought there, but we're not going with that one. Snippet. So after, yeah, I'll just do the whole thing again. And then we'll go from when Bayne goes down. Rewind. With Bayne down, Stat on the top rope, ready to fly at Bayne, Penelope Ford makes the save and jumps onto the apron to distract the ref. Chris and brain stopped working. Boom! Power down. Boom. Beep. Power on. Penelope Ford makes the save for Bayne and jumps onto the apron to distract the ref and Chris from executing the move. The chorus of boos erupts from around the arena and from my own personal seating area, and Bayne topples Stat off the top rope and lands onto the apron. It looked painful. What Bayne does next is a non-vulgar display of power as she positions Chris, who is now standing but with her back to her. Megan stands on the bottom rope with one fluid motion. This woman suplexes Chris back into the ring. As the crowd jewel it out with in one slightly one-sided chant, but pretty kind of floppy in the middle. Megan gloats and kicks Stat with her foot around the ring, while Penelope glares at the fans who dare chant Stat, which is only going to make them chant even more. But you know, you do you, Missy. Our timeless world champion delivers more megastar one-liners that destroy whatever life our commentary team had left in them. They needed life support after that. Give them some fucking oxygen. Now it is Stat who finds it difficult to quickly recover, though, and to evade or even defend the attacks from Bayne, who is like a cat with a mouse in the ring. She just plays with her, and we do wonder if this is going to be the end for Stat. What will they do? This will prove to be her undoing, though. Oh, look at that. And after a hard whip, Chris is activated and can avoid the incoming splash. Turns and delivers a stiff elbow to Megan's visage and then missiles a knee into the side of her head. The crowd are behind every hit. Sidebar. No. Haha. I've already done that sidebar as well. Nip out sidebar. Oh, all my sidebars have already been spoken about. That's kind of funny though, because that was going to be a yay for Omaha crowd sidebar. But no. In the bin. The women tussle. Stat breaks through Bayne's defenses and hoists her up for a gorgeous blue thunder bomb. Executed perfectly. Does it so good. And then when you get like two giant wrestlers in a blue thunder bomb, it's a thing of beauty. Men or women. Perfect. But Stat pins Megan right where she lands, but Bayne can easily power out at two because this woman is going to take a while to get down. Whilst our world champion says out loud what everyone is thinking, Bayne the upper hand. Cyber. I won't be repeating every banger of a line that our champ says through this match because I really want you to go and watch it for yourself to get it, you know, the real experience from it. I also don't want to boister myself up by repeating her iconic lines, if that makes any sense. It's her creations, so they are very, very fucking funny. But for one, I won't do them justice. I can hardly do my own lines justice. And I just don't feel right about repeating them all. But I mean, the whole thing, I keep saying, watch the match. It's brilliant. Watch the match a few times because you will be distracted by the commentary or the performance in the ring of one of them, and you'll get all mishy-mashy everything. So yeah, do it. Both wrestlers are feeling the effects of the battle, yet are still strong enough to go head-to-head again. Both equal. Bayne gets the upper hand with a beautiful belly-to-belly suplex. Now, I have to be honest here. The belly-to-belly suplex isn't really my favorite move. I guess it's because I don't really like how it looks when it's being executed. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen. Yeah, I'm not going to diss on anyone's, but this one I really, really liked. Like, this one was really good. Penelope hasn't interfered too much, as like a little bit, but she hasn't like physically gotten in there. But she's been a great support to Bayne, and she's also been intimidating stats. So and like I'll keep my Chris has to keep her eye on forward, so she's not 100% concentrating on Bayne in front of her. So you got to give her that. Like a true one-on-one, I'm getting ahead of myself, but Penelope isn't physically big, but her dastardly deeds level is top tier, and it makes her a very deadly foe. So don't sleep on Penelope Ford when she's on the outside. Bayne tries to bring Stat back into the ring the hard way again, but it's Bayne who is yoinked over the top rope and now finds herself in a dangerous predicament and is soon planted face down onto the hardest part of the ring, which we all know everybody is the apron. Whilst everyone else subconsciously checks on their own teeth, we watch on as Chris leads Bayne to the turnbuckles and up to the top rope. Penelope screaming at Bayne, and before Stat can get her balance, Bayne slips between Stat's legs, Stat finds herself being carried by a running Bayne. So she slipped through her legs. This is Bayne. Legs, slip, and then she's like, woo! And then she runs with a human on her fucking shoulders after all of that. And she slams Stat down onto the mat with a heavy Liger bomb. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Bayne gets Stat up for we're going for the Fate. Okay, so we're going for Fate's Descent now with this whole bow down finisher fiasco. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. But yeah, we still get to yell bow down, which we like, but we deliver the Fate's Descent. So we yell bow down, but we're delivering a Fate's Descent. Confusing? Never mind. I am going to just leaving it there though, all right? Because I'm just going to get myself all worked up into a tithy over completely something out of my own creation, and it won't be the first time, but we're just going to try and limit it a little bit, okay? Stat gets out of Megan's firearm carry, which would have put her down to the mat, and she bounces off the ropes and gives Bayne an axe kick to the back of the head, which was perfect. The crowd thought Stat was a goner, and when she was on Megan's shoulders, they erupted when she got her with the axe kick. Everyone was like, wow, because that was like, her finishing move. They're like, oh no, and then she bursts out of it and excitement fills the air. Both women take a moment to die, as is fair, on the canvas, and they have a mini moi to catch their breath, and that's fine. They're allowed. We pan around the ring cinematically as the ref counts to 10, and our warriors trying to regain stamina and get to their feet. We see Penelope Ford leaning in as far as she legally can and is shouting encouragement and advice to Bayne. They lay down the challenge, and Bayne faces Stat in the middle of the ring for a sit-down slap fest between the two beefy babes. The entire arena reacts to every chop, while the broadcast team and in a who are in a varied state of hyperbole, brought on by another timeless zinger. The women get to their feet whilst still exchanging chops to the face and chest. One lucky shot from Stat gets her the upper hand, and she pays multiple unanswered chops to Bayne. And Inzaguri sets Bayne up, and when Stat goes to bounce off the ropes for extra momentum, she kisses the mat instead, because Penelope has interfered by tripping her up. This, though, was not smart, because this was right in front of the ref. And the ref was like, "This is your second time getting in the way, Missy. I think it's about time we give you the you're motherfucking out of here." She's moaning, she's crying, she's jumping up and down, she's everything, but she gotta go. You did the whoop, whoop, whoop. You gotta go. And out she goes. Back to the ring, Bayne wastes no time and flies at Statlander, who backdrops to the mat and avoids her attack. She avoided her attack. That's what that line meant. With a kick up, Stat is on her feet and sends a thrust kick by airmail into Bayne's face. Bayne is knocked down, and Stat gives her a roundhouse kick to the body. Megan battle cries and goes for a pump kick, yet Stat is too quick and ducks the kick. Bayne gets her. Oh shit! What are we doing? Ducks the kick, gets Bayne onto her shoulders. Okay, so now we've got like the other way around. Before we had Stat up here and Bayne going, whoop, whoop, whoop. Now we've got the other way around. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. On her shoulders, brings her down to the mat with a glorious powerbomb. Timeless says one of my personal favorite expressions for the second time in this match, which is good gravy. When that came out of her mouth, I had a little like, because I love saying good gravy. Good grief, good gravy and potatoes. Oh, I love it. And Megan is slammed to the mat by Stat with a fisherman's driver. Ooh. And everyone counts the pin. But it is not enough for the win. And Bayne kicks out at 2. She doesn't get off the mat, though. And both women take stock of the damage and consider the next move. See, like I said, I didn't think that Bayne was expecting this, and now she is getting her comeuppance, people. It's been very clear that Stat and Bayne are damn near equal in every way. The champ squirms in her undies at the power displayed by these two wrestlers, and one day she will have to face them. One of them, spoilers, very soon. Actually, no, not spoilers, because we've already spoken about it. One of them she's going to have to face really soon. And so far, I mean, we've had some like ambushing, but we'll see. I mean, she's very fucking strong. Statlander goes to the ropes for perhaps a cutter, but is caught by Bayne, who sends Stat over her head in a suplex. Stat lands on her foot and with a battle cry charges at Bayne and gives her a German suplex. It does not keep her down. Instead, it actually fires her up, and Bayne goes, "Screw you," and gives "Screw you," and have a merry German suplex. Make myself crack up. And Stat lands hard on the mat. Not down, though. Another German suplex from Stat makes Bayne change it up, and she flies at her with a lariat that goes straight through Statlander. Statlander rolls out of the ring and slumps down to the outside, trying to reorganize her thoughts after they were just destroyed by that lariat. Woo! With the crowd now completely behind both wrestlers, no matter what. Megan feeds of this. And they give her the "this is awesome" chant, which is like so sweet. And she just flies through the ropes, turning into a missile honed in on Statlander. She detonates, and Stat goes down and receives a complimentary double chop to the chest. Thank you for flying Megan Bayne Airlines. By the power of the wedgie, Bayne rolls Stat back into the ring. One Falcon arrow later, and Bayne gets Stat down for the pin. But does she? Oh no, Stat is not out, and she kicks out at 2, people. Fucking A. When Chris is on the ropes, Bayne charges at her, but is foiled by the old pull down the top rope trickaroo. And once on the apron, some quick work from Stat gets Megan down with a DDT. Groggy and on the floor, Stat runs along the apron and cannonballs herself at Bayne. Woo! Bayne goes down with a thud. Both women wrestle each other on the outside until Bayne switches it around and sends Chris Lander, combination of Chris and Statlander, Chrislander. That really rolls off the tongue. Oh no, that's bad. I'm going to fumble up with that now. My brain's just going to change Chris Statlander and oh no, actually it's gone. We can carry on. Flying into the world champion Timeless Tony, who got every single bit of it because it was an entire human being just being thrown at her. The crowd goes through a wave of emotions and collectively decide to land on anger, and everyone starts booing Megan Bayne because you don't throw people at the champion. Oh, Timeless, what are you doing, rude woman? Megan Bayne gives a face descent minus the bow down, so you know it's not going to be the pin. I feel like I'm being ribbed with this bow down face thing, but we're just going to move along. Bayne's F5, Statlanders. No, that's not a sentence. Taking that out. Bayne F5 Stat. That's what it is. Onto the floor with zero mercy, with no yelling of the bow down. Bayne walks up on Timeless, who's like very kind of groggy and very pissed, and yells, "Watch this!" and enters the ring where Statlander has gone to seek refuge. She's a refugee of the outside of the ring, coming into the ring for some safety. Or maybe she had to break a count. Either way, she is now in the middle of the ring, and that is not where she wants to be because she is not strong enough to defend against being picked up into another fireman's carry. This time, Megan Bayne does yell, "Bow down," and murders Stat with a fate's bow down descent. Everyone is on their feet in the arena as Megan's arm is raised in victory. Our champ is now in the fighting mood, though, and stands on the announce desk, taping her knuckles, minus the glass this time, and faces Bayne in the middle of the ring, because how dare you? The whole arena is cheering their lungs out as Timeless and Bayne beat the living shit out of each other. The bell of fight rings out, and the security and refs come flying into the ring to break it up. The women break from their confinements and launch at each other again. With a lariat from hell, Timeless sends Megan backwards over the top rope, and even though she lands on her feet, it is our world champion, Timeless Toni Storm, who commands the ring, and the roar of the crowd behind her chanting, "Toni, Toni, 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 Toni." After delivering another classic Timeless promo in which the champ lays down the challenge for our next pay-per-view Dynasty. Our champion celebrates in the mat in the middle of the ring with a lovely interpretive dance, as is tradition, and we fade to the black as the sound of Timeless Toni Storm's music plays in the arena. And that, my people, is the end of Dynamite. Next, we have Ring of Honor. And we got Viva Van. Do you know Viva Van? I love Viva Van. Viva Van is fucking cool. And we have the Katarina. We know we love Katarina. We know it's going to be good. Let's get some dancing. Let's get some sexy bitches going. Woo! For one, Viva Van was. And maybe, oh, sorry. I didn't say the first sentence. What I was meant to say was, I have found out some very interesting things about our dear Viva Van. So I'm going to share them with you. She is, and maybe still is, the vocalist for a death metal band called Mocking of the Trinity. No, don't listen to me. Now listen to me. Mocking of the Trinity. They have a YouTube channel with 3 songs on it from the demo that was uploaded. It was 11 years ago, which is why I'm like, maybe it still is, you know, like that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't still play together, you know, just because the only thing that they put out was 11. Okay, maybe they're not. But anyway, those things are out. And my favorite of the 3 was called The Hands Resist Him. It's very good. Viva has also been a champion for 6 different companies, and that was apparently all at the same time. So I guess now she is the woman who's had the most belts at the same time, to my memory. So Monet has 2 more. She had, so that could be World and, sorry, I'm not stealing people's belts, but World and Ring of Honor, and then she would have 6. And then we go to Stardom. And anyway, we're getting distracted with all of that. We're not going into the belt boat money laundering side of Monet's personality. Not now. She has wrestled all over America, and she's wrestled in Mexico and Japan and also Vietnam. I love her style because she's all creepy, and she has this creepy aesthetic to her wrestling. And I really wish we could have a tag team of Viva Van and Abaddon. Abaddon is still on the roster. Nothing, I haven't, they're still there. So maybe I'm not going to cry just yet. We'll just see what happens. But if I can get a Viva Van tag team, that would be it would be great if that changes your mind on anything. So there, Viva Van shimmies to the ring in a very cool multi-fringed battle jacket. It is brilliantly wrestling. It has white fluffy trim, and she has this beautiful purpley pink streak through her long black hair, and it complements her features and dark alt VK vibed gear perfectly. She's like I said, she's like the whole little package. She's so good. So next up comes up pod fave La Catarina, and her funky ass ring music comes into my head, and it is awesome. I love it so much. She is feeling herself as well. She has some new gear. It's this beautiful, shiny one piece with sleeves, and it has Diva across the top of it. And, she comes to the ring in like a beautiful pink lucha mask, which, I admit I am only just coming to these women now. I'm not claiming I know any like back history or anything. So if this is normal, yay. But she does take it off. And, it's like, yay, because it looked really cool. But I could also imagine that fucking wrestling in a mask would just be like, so I get it. When we first met Katarina in episode 2, you would already know that she is very talented and she is from Chilean. But if you want to hear any more, go to episode 2. I don't know where I was going with that, but we're putting that out there. We get our handshake, as is tradition, and our 2 wrestlers engage in some delicious wrestling. These 2 know each other really, really well, it seems, and are countering each other's moves fluidly, getting the upper hand on one another, and then the other one's like, woo, with countering each other's moves. No, we did that. I tried to come back, and then I didn't, and then I made a fuck up out of the whole thing. Clip that bit out. Clippy, clippy, clip. Oh, hang on. Pause these for drinkies. Pausies for drinkies. It sounds like some sort of fundraiser for an animal charity.
Like for every shot you do, we will donate money to this animal shelter.
Yeah. It's actually a really good idea. I'm sure. That'll work.
That's how you got to do it. You have to always mix the responsibility, or you have to mix your irresponsibility with responsibility. So
yeah,
you got to be irresponsibly responsible.
Exactly.
We're all getting wasted, but it's for a good cause, so it's fine.
Exactly. It's justifiable wastage. And sometimes it's fun to have a justifiable reason. You're like, it's for the animals. It's weird. It's not just for my. No. All right. Sorry, I'm just adjusting everything here as the light changes. All right. Oh fuck. Where was I? Oh no, I found myself. All right. without either getting too much control over the other. As La Catarina arm drags Viva Van for the second time, the two women stand across from each other, admiring each other's skills. The crowd does likewise and gives both women their applause. Viva Van comes at La Catarina with a pump kick that sends La Catarina to the ropes. When Viva Van turns into a speed bump, La Catarina dodges the tripping hazard by handspringing over Van. Oh no! La Catarina hits the rope off the top of her. Hits the top of her. Oh, that's right. I'm remembering this now. So when she did the little handspring over the speed bump that was Viva Van, La Catarina looked like she like kabonked her head on like the mat when she was going over, but she seemed fine, but it did look a little bit ugh. But she was she adjusted her body and she was able to land safely. So apparently that was fine, but I had forgotten about that. Remembering. The two women take less time to admire each other's skills this time and quickly engage in combat. Katarina lands hard kicks into Van's gut, and it's all the Katarina from then. Viva Van just cannot get a moment to recover and is constantly on the defense until she finds herself in a pin via a gorgeous Superman's suplex. Superman, there's no Superman here. Fisherman's suplex. Okay, that was a bit of a moment when my mouth just kept going and my brain just like waffled on, and the two just took a while to come back to each other. But we're here, we're back. A fisherman's suplex would be one of my moves. I think I've said this before because it just looks so good. Viva Van kicks out at 2 and after a small amount of recovery time goes on to the attack. Viva grabs La Catarina's head and pulls her in for a spiked motorboat, but it's spiky. Viva continues with a distraction tactic, and switches up her direction when she's running the ropes. This is going so well, isn't it, people? Then kicking the Catarina flush in the face with a spinning heel kick. Viva Van pins the Catarina, but it is only a two. Slow to recover from that spinning heel kick, the Catarina gets a boot to the back from Viva Van. Viva shows off her technical wrestling skills and wraps La Catarina up in a rocking chair submission and then into a La Campana, or a suspended surfboard. But La Catarina frees her legs from the hold to escape, but instead ends up getting a boot to the back of the head. So it didn't really, you kind of probably would have preferred to have the La Campana than the boot to the back of the head. Funnily enough, though, this makes the crowd like cheer for Viva Van. I thought they were going to get all booey, but no, they were like very impressed with her quick thinking and violence. So you're never going to know what the crowd's going to want to. The Catarina is fired up and takes an whoa, no. I've done it again, people. Done it again. Waffling on, losing my place. Hey, where am I going? I do not know. Whoa. Doobie dooba, shooby wah wah. Hey. Hey, ba. I was right. Fucking idiot. Sorry about all that. I was right all along.
All good.
Oh, dear. Okay. The Catarina is now fired up and takes the unsuspecting Viva Van down with a kick and then a shining wizard for the pin. It is close, but Viva kicks out at 2, which infuriates but then also motivates the Catarina. And she soon plows Viva Van down to the mat with multiple running clotheslines. Viva Van gets thrown into the corner and La Catarina kicks her legs out from underneath her, takes a run up and missiles her badonk with ultimate force into Viva's face. La Catarina drags Viva's corpse into the middle of the ring for the pin, but the booty attack was not enough to get Van down for the 3. While the crowd cheers them on, Viva finds herself in a bad predicament in the corner. La Catarina lays into her with forearms, then ducks under her, to lift her up onto his shoulders for an electric chair. Is this the electric chair episode? While getting herself positioned, Viva takes advantage of the stall and she forward rolls, bringing La Caterina down to the mat for the pin. You know. Viva sits on her face, then breaks her pin to perform a double stomp to La Caterina's stomach before taking a sit and pinning her again. Not on her face this time. La Caterina kicks out and Viva releases her frustration with a war cry. Viva makes her way to the corner and gets to the apron. La Caterina comes in to attack, but is blocked by Viva Van, who then grabs La Caterina by the back of the head and repeatedly slams her face first into the turnbuckle. Face. Multiple times. Whew. La Caterina stumbles to the middle of the ring. Viva Van takes flight via springboard crossbody, and we are in a pin for 2. La Caterina is hurt. I mean, she was just repeatedly slammed head turnbuckle. And Viva is way more frustrated now. It's back to it's back to evens again, and the 2 women try to out wrestle the other and get the upper hand. Then both utilize all their skills to counteract electric chairs. Counteract? Moving on. La Caterina is the one finally get the upper hand, and once she gets the butterfly facebuster of beauty on Viva Van, the whole crowd accounting free for the imminent win because duh. But Viva defiantly and remarkably strongly kicks out at 2. Like, fuck you guys. You think I'm going out for 3? No. La Caterina is stunned by this, kicks Viva in the gut to keep her down, and climbs to the top rope. By the time she turns around, though, Viva is up and she slaps the living shit out of La Caterina. Viva Van takes advantage of La Caterina's top rope position and brings her down to the mat hard with a gory iconoclasm, which is a cross-arm variation of iconoclasm. Your opponent is sitting on the top rope, stunned. You stand in the, on the mat, grab them by the wrist, turn them in this veneer and twist around and whip you over and whoop. Okay. While researching a previous move, my eyes landed on this name of iconoclasm, and I was instantly attracted to it. I get this sometimes. I see things and I'm instantly like, woo. And more time, 9 times out of 10, I will come across it again, and it's something that's what I've needed or something. And that word obviously was one of them. But I couldn't allow the distraction because I was way deep into finding out whatever the goddamn move was for about 5 minutes. And when I went to go look for this move, it was the iconoclasm. Well, the gory version of it. Brilliant. Anyway, you don't need to know about that. But you do. The 2 wrestlers scramble, getting desperate now as the match wears on. And to get the win on each other, La Caterina attempts to tie Viva Van up in a submission, but Viva wriggles like an eel, reaching out for the ropes to stop her from being brought down to the mat. But it's to no use. La Caterina is able to lock in the submission, which I tried to find the name of, but my eyes were like going cross-eyed and I just could not find it. So it's just going to have to go unnamed for now. But Viva tries to fight the submission, but she eventually taps. So it's just the winning submission for now. La Caterina gets the win. We get some celebratory dancing from La Caterina, and we get some mean mugging from Viva, who's sitting in the corner. Viva rolls out of the ring to fight another day. You guys liking the video interaction so far? Yeah? This is what you see? No one asked for this. It's what you're getting. We get that was a great match. It was very entertaining. Both women are great wrestlers with a wide range of moves. Hot woman graps indeed. Thank you. That was it though for Ring of Honor. There was no promos. There was no other women's matches. That was it. That's all we got. It was good. I'm not going to moan because, especially for now, since I am well known to be able to waffle on in my own time, let alone I have a guest or not. I don't need any more ammunition to make it even longer. So, quickly heading into collision because we've got Julia Hart and Queen Aminata, two wrestlers that I absolutely love. And later on, we shall be graced by the presence of Harley Graham and Harley Cameron, which can only mean one thing, but we will get to that later. First off, it is a trip backstage, and we have Lexi Near. She is interviewing our one and only Queen Aminata. Lexi is looking casually glamorous. Queen Aminata is in her iridescent bodysuit gear, which looks amazing. It sparkles like a disco ball, and it just looks beautiful. And then an uninvited guest just walks in. It's Miss Serena Deeb, and she is here, she is here with her side teal plaits and black business suit and her book of 1,000 moves. Before Queen Aminata, before Queen Aminata can answer the question that was put to her by Lexi, Deeb is already taking credit for her win over Julia Hart. The old, I gave you some advice and then you happen to win your next match. It's all about me shtick. And I can tell by the expression already forming on Queen Aminata's face that there will be no mentor-mentee relationship here. The professor, like I said, has in her hand the elusive Deeb Bible of 1,000 holds. And as she proudly hands it to Queen Aminata like it's something, the one and only is already forming her excuses and politely declines the offering and makes a polite but quick exit. Bye-bye. Just like that, but not down there. She went over there. The professor is now left with her book and Alexi Nair. She declares that we will see about that. And as I'm trying to zoom lens my eyeballs as much as I can to possibly figure out what the hell Lexi Nair's necklace is, I realize that both her and Deeb are wearing evil eyes. Dun, dun, dun! But there's no time for that, because the riffs of Julia Hart's music have signaled her arrival. So yeah, keep an eye on that, people. It's always a good day when I get to watch women's wrestling, but Julia Hart and Queen Aminata match are extra special, and this little series between them has been brain candy for me. I've been loving it. When the former TBS champion, Julia Hart, burst onto the scene, she was as white meat babyface as they come. Like we said earlier with Books, she was only like 19 when she started. Julia was a cheerleader in For Real Reals and in her kayfabes, and she had Julia written across her chest, and it was so cute because she would like come out and then with like a big smile on her face, she'd be like, Julia! And it was so cheesy and so baby face. I was on board. I was completely on board. I'm normally not, but there was just something about it that I was like, oh, I love her. Yeah, Julia. But her wrestling then won me over even more. And then she went from being with the Varsity Blondes to then the moment when Malachi Black completely changed her path with his Black Mist. And since then, Julia has improved in the ring so much, so much. There's someone in her personal life as well that would also be giving her wonderful, like tips and tricks. But, this is kayfabe land. Julia Hart she's not even human. She's like a goodness knows how long witch from demonic land, ain't no human here. Anyway, after that, she added like a whole other tier to herself. And I am a real sucker for a heel, especially a dark supernatural creature in awesome gear and a vicious moveset heel. The trio, Hounds of Hell, are my favorite faction right now. And by the end of the year, I want belts on all of them. That is what I'm putting out there into the ether for this episode. So far in episode 1 or 2, who's counting? I've put Give RJ City his graphic you cowards out there. And I have given, hey, Triller, why do I have to suffer ads through my wrestling when I pay for you and should not have to suffer the audacity of advertisements through my matches? And we shall report back here if our manifestations have, come to light. So watch this space. No, you can literally watch the space. It moves around and does this and does this. Anyway, the lights are down, and with a red glow, we pan to the stage and we watch as Julia walks slowly to the center where a spotlight awaits amongst the fog. Julia stands in the middle as we get a glorious wide shot. Like, it's not cinematic in the way that cinema is, but just a beautiful, simple shot lined up just beautifully just makes all the difference. And yeah, that was beautiful it's so gorgeous. As we get the gorgeous wide shot, the heart always wins. 3 beats hit. Julia's arms are outstretched and a wall of fire erupts behind her, and the breath just leaves my body as goosebumps cover my flesh and a lump in my throat is caused because I have my fucking period, and this entrance is so fucking cool, and it's a woman's entrance of my dreams, and I'm like a little emotional because of fucking hormones. Sidebar. On the subject of periods, sorry, did not mean to yell that at you, but you TERFs who use it against trans women and trans men, probably, I don't know, lying fucktards, because you know it sucks balls and you would get rid of it in a heartbeat. So shut the fuck up and don't use it as some sort of like, well, you don't have this, so you're not. No, no one who has one wants it. So there. Count yourself lucky if you don't fucking have one. If you want a kid, there are plenty of abandoned children out there. Moving on. Julia has a gorgeous hat. And her long jacket is beautifully crafted. And when she gets to the ropes for her entrance and stands on the second rope with her arms out, her jacket flowing down to the mat, it just looks like she's floating. And it's one of the most serotonin and boosting things for my eyeballs, especially when they add more fire. Call back shout to episode 3 when Brett, Michelle, and I were discussing our love for AEW's pyromaniac character trait. No shit. Julia Hart is the kind of wrestling persona, as I said earlier with Christy, that it would be me. Like that would be me. I'd be like all over that vibe. Soon the vibe takes a very funky flip as our one and only Queen Aminata's music hits. Now, Queen Aminata is also wrestling persona goals, but, you know, in a different way, because she has it all: the looks, the confidence, the talent, the cockiness, the ego, style, and heart that makes her such a captivating wrestler. The Queen's music is infectious, and it's one of those beats that makes me groove every time I hear it. Like, my body is just kind of like one of those mechanical little flowers that dance when you play the music, and if it likes it, it's just gonna boogie. And her entrance is also very, very cool. She just walks straight up to the ring and acknowledges all of her fans, and but this Queen Aminata for this particular evening is a different Queen Aminata. I am sensing an overconfidence coming out of our queen today. It's just something about her posture and the expression on her face, and just also the way she's walking to the ring. It's like, I've got this. It's just enhancement talent. I will have this done in a moment. And it's like, bro, who are you kidding? Like, it's Julia. She's like, nothing to be taken lightly. Just because she was dominant in her last match, I just think that she's going to be way, like Julia is going to be way more harder for her to beat. And I think this might be a mistake from Queen Aminata. And if she loses, you just know that Deeb will never let her hear the end of it. And that will just piss Queen Aminata off. And then those two will go on and have a bit of rivalry while Julia waits in the darkness for her time to pounce on a champion. But I digress. Anywho, I better start wafting down tangent lane because we don't want, once again, to create another epic tale of Don't Call Me Diva. We all know that my ADHD, loves to waffle on a tangent. I love myself a tangent. I'm doing it now. Right, back on track. Julia is bouncing from foot to foot in the corner, staring down Queen Aminata like she's about to enjoy herself on whatever she does. And we shift to the Queen, and the Queen is like, what's What's this bitch about? The two women lock up, and when Queen Aminata gets Julia in a waistlock, Julia uses Queen Aminata's body position against her and tarantulas herself to Aminata. But as Julia tries to roll forward and underneath the Queen, Queen Aminata counters by sitting down on Hart, pinning her to the mat. Very smart. The ref counts, and Julia uses her whole body to kick out for 2. She did not expect Aminata to just do that, but she does regroup. Julia is fast and gets Queen Aminata down for a barrage of quick pin attempts. The first by crucifix, the second by roll-up, the third, Julia took the Queen by surprise with a backslide. The Queen was protesting, but she still got pinned and wasn't out of danger when she kicked out either, as Julia still had control of her arm. Julia caught Aminata with a front headlock and puts the Queen's other arm across her shoulder as if she were setting up for a Northern Light suplex, but instead Hart hooks the Queen's leg, brings her down to the mat for an even tighter pin. Queen Aminata kicks out, but Julia is not done and is not stopping and tries to take the Queen down to the mat again, but this time Aminata gets to the ropes and catapult Julia off her. Why am I making multiple wrestlers here? No, we're not cloning wrestlers. As Julia runs in again, she is stopped dead by a pump kick from the Queen, and with an already exhausted sounding from the one and only, Queen Aminata takes charge of Hart's head in a front chokehold. No shade at all, but I get the vibe that the Queen is not her usual self tonight. She seems a bit sluggish. Maybe that's by being caught off guard by Julia Hart so much, with those quick pin attempts. Maybe she's a bit kind of, maybe the choke, maybe she's still catching her breath from that. But, moving on. As the crowd dual chant for our wrestlers, Queen Aminata sends Julia's leg to the bottom rope the hard way via snap suplex. And she looks over her shoulder as Julia checks on the damage, and the Queen gives her one of her, I enjoy hurting people looks. Wait a minute. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? We hurt people? Oh, that is something I want now. Okay, manifestation board. We hurt people, Queen Aminata. We hurt people, Queen Aminata. We hurt people, Queen Aminata. Okay, now we've got it in the flow. We hurt people, Queen Aminata. All right, everyone's got the chant? Cool. Back to the show. Queen Aminata grabs Julia by the hair and brings her through the ropes to the apron. Aminata gets Julia into position and lifts her up for a devastating side slam on the hardest part of the ring, which we all know is the apron. Woo! And I fucked myself up. We're cutting that one out. And that out. Drinking time. Pauses for drinks. Everyone take a shot. Get that money for the puppies.
Everyone take a hit.
Everyone take a hit. Oh, I can't take a hit. I'm already. We don't need to be any more over here. Oh, crumb burgers. But yeah, wouldn't that be cool? Queen Aminata with the hurt flickety flicky.
Absolutely. I am 100% on board for this.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
We need it to happen. It needs to happen. All right, where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll just start again by the Queen Aminata grabbing Julia by the hair. There we go. Oh, my God. So dry. Stop talking, woman. Shh. Queen Aminata grabs Julia by the hair and brings her through the ropes to the apron. Brings her through the ropes to the... Oh, yes, we're going from the ring to the outside. Aminata gets Julia into position and lifts her up for a devastating side slam onto the hardest part of the ring. Aminata landed on the floor, adding power to the slam. And the whole arena just lets out this exclamation of agony. All of us thinking that it wasn't them. Oh. Whilst Julia tries to get feeling back into her lower back, the Queen mockingly leans against her, flicking her hair in Julia's face, whilst giving us a sarcastic K-pop heart, which... which amuses the queen greatly. The dark-hearted Julia laughs in the face of pain as it sears through her body. Queen has more painful plans and slaps down hard onto Julia's corpse, pitying the fools in the crowd who call for one more. Queen Amanada has the swagger back and she forces Hart to go running with her round the ring and then throws Julia into the guardrail. Amanada takes Julia's limp body and places it in a chair. Fearful the ref was going to count her out, she flung herself kind of into the apron, but then the ref was like, just kidding. And Queen Amanada gets back off, lines up Julia, and sends her entire booty area slamming into Julia's head, which then collides with the top of the barrier, absolutely smushing Julia's head. It looks so painful. Her ears must have just gone instantly ringing after that. Queen Amanada throws Julia into the ring as a fan yells encouragement towards Julia. But I don't think she can hear you, kid. I think all she can hear is for now. As Julia is recovering on the mat, Queen Amanada basks in the glory of her chanting fans, joins in with some flirty dance moves, whilst I and everyone else who saw this was very appreciative for the visuals. Julia is hurt in the middle of the ring. Priorities, Queen. With a pin that looked like Queen Amanada was using Julia's body as a sun lounger and a big ass smile on her face. This was never going to work, Queen, because Julia kicked out. You knew that was not going to work. That was not a serious pin. We need to get our face in the game, Missy. Whilst the broadcast team gush over Queen Amanada's smile, it's a good one. The Queen gets Julia in a rear chin lock, leaning down on Hart's back, forcing her forward and restricting her ability to catch any breath. Transitioning to a new choke. This time it's Julia's neck, arm, and back that are being involved. Queen Amanada starts faffing about with Julia's face, pulling on her nose like a big brother to a little one. And that enough disrespect is enough to give Julia the perk bonus that she needs to use the strength and leverage to roll Amanada onto her shoulders for the pin. Queen Amanada kicks out with force, gets to her feet again, staring daggers down at Hart, who is taking her sweet ass time getting to her feet. No point in her bothering, to be honest, because their one and only comes flying at her head with a drop kick, knocking Julia out flat. Queen Amanada is loving her work, enjoys seeing her opponents suffer. Once again, this is a casual pin, and I don't fucking know what happened next because the bastards at Trailer cut away from the match and they played the ad filler. Looking at you. Why? Why am I getting ad filler? I don't need ad filler. There is no ad going on. What are you doing? In the ring or on commentary, that means that everyone has to be taken away from the middle of a women's match. There's always a fucking women's match. There's always a fucking women's match. Who is doing this? Who? To whom it may concern. No. Thank you. Yours sincerely. Me. And every other Triller watcher out there. It's just annoying. I don't understand it. All right. Satisfied with that. Julia goes back to concentrating onto the mat and crashes down onto the one and only with a gorgeous standing moonsault. But the Queen will still kick out before 3 because she uses the strength in her strong ass legs. There is no strength in them as she tries to stand up though, and Amanada has to gather herself in the corner. With a target on her head, Julia lines up Queen Amanada and lays a running lariat into her chest. Julia runs at her again. This time, she body slams herself into the Queen, knocking all the wind out of her. And I think Julia got her slightly on the side of the neck with a back elbow. This wasn't enough to take the fight out of Queen, though, and Julia runs at her to perform another devastating move. Amanada, though, scoops Hart up and takes a running leap before crashing Julia's own body down onto the mat in an air raid crash of beauty. Queen Amanada uses it often, and she does it really well. Straight into the pin. which was, fair. But Julia gives Queen Aminata the shock of her life and a lot of other people, and she kicks out before 3. Getting frustrated now, the Queen lays an axe kick from the sky down onto Julia's guts and climbs to the top ropes. Not as winded as the Queen, though. She is soon defending shots to the head as Julia was already up, and she is climbing those ropes to get to her, to bring the one and only down from there hard and not on top of her own body. Julia knocks Aminata woozy and is able to lock her into the position for a an avalanche German suplex. Julia is successful and she hangs down upside down like a bat, admiring Queen Aminata's broken body lying on the mat. And it is such an iconic fucking thing. I love the whole hanging upside down thing. I know it's like really, maybe that's why I like it. It's really old. It's really goth. It's kind of campy. I don't really like it. Queen Aminata hits her moonsault, but Queen Aminata, no, did I say that? Julia Hart hits her moonsault? Yeah? Yeah, because that's what I meant to say. But Queen Aminata's body was not where it was a second ago, because she had rolled out of the way and was on her feet. Julia was also on her feet and turned to face Queen Aminata. But the one and only was right up in her grill and cracks her in the skull with her own head. Queen Aminata calls this the Queen's Crown. She has like one of the most devastating headbutts out of all of women's wrestling. She just really fucking lays it in there. Like that. Julia's down on the mat and Queen Aminata goes for a medium strength pin this time. Julia kicks out at 3. She really should have gone for that top tier pin, Missy. With the crowd building in energy, Julia tries to regain some stamina but finds it difficult to get started as Queen Aminata kicks the side of her head. Queen will make a mistake and it would be the opening that Julia will need to get the win. The Queen pushes Julia off the ropes, which would start things in motion, but Hart kicked her in the face and went to what am I saying? Cut all that out. What am I saying? Oh, okay. We'll go to when the crowd with the crowd building up the energy. We're going from there. Oh yeah. Okay. With the crowd with the crowd building up the energy, Julia tries to regain some stamina, but finds it difficult to get started as Queen Aminata has kicked the side of her head. The Queen would make a mistake, and it would be all the opening Julia would need. The Queen pushes Julia off the ropes, which would again start things in motion. Hart kicks her in the face and went to gain some leverage again, but is met by a rough forearm that drops Julia to the mat, and she leans against the bottom rope. Queen Aminata thinks it's over and yells out a battle cry of "off with her head!" But it serves as a warning instead. And what's to come to Julia? What's to come? It serves as a warning instead, as what's to come to Julia, and she rolls out of the way. Queen Aminata is sent backwards, and whilst laying in the mat, a quick-thinking Julia sees her prone. Queen Aminata is prone, and rolls Aminata up for a high, but also a squished pin, and she gets the delicious 3 count. Now, as we all know, that usually when you get a high stacked pin, it's not that great because people go woo and they can kick out of it. But learn from Julia, you squish them, because when you squish them, they can't extend their abdomen to kick out. Smart. The heart always wins, and we fade to the back, where Lexi Nair has some questions for Harley Cameron, who has the tits and the answers that Lexi is looking for. That was a brilliant match. I really enjoyed that match out of Queen Aminata and Julia Hart. So that's now 2 to Julia. I can see that this is probably going to piss Queen Aminata off. She's going to be mad about that. She's going to be really, really mad at herself about that. And she kind of has her own self to blame, to be honest, because she was a bit loosey-goosey about getting serious. And by the time she did kind of get serious, Julia was already on her top tier of offense. And yeah, so I don't know. We'll see if my predictions are right and Serena Deeb starts teasing her about it. Well, teasing sounds so school, but giving a shit. Harley is wearing a sexy black corset with her long hair cascading her face and her chest like a waterfall, fangirling over. It's time to pay attention. Harley tells us that she will be on commentary during the Beast Mortos and Relistigo versus Commander and the Hologrift. Lexi adds that Hologram will be coming out to the ring also, in a way that I feel is like trying to get Harley to say that she's Hologram or something, which is really rude of Lexi, because just because we know that Hologram and Harley Cameron are the same person doesn't mean that Harley Cameron knows this. So, like, don't be a dick, Lexi. It seems that the animal magnetism betwixt the Beast and Miss Graham has been circulating the backstage gossip sheets, and Lexi wants to know if there's any inside scoops, but she is no Paquette. And before her cover can be blown, Harley is gone with a fear the wrath. It's like a, what do you think? Double personality kind of thing going on there? Not me, Harley Cameron. Well, maybe me. I have started, I have stated already that I am a massive fan of the Beast Mortos. Harley is everything. And this classic Thisbe and Pyramus love story between a holographic woman and a beastly man is something that I am really here for. And let's get Beastgrams on the television. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Timeless Tony Storm remarks from Dynamite have brought out Megan's voice. Because as I didn't say, one of the things she said was that, does this woman speak? And it seems that she does, but only in glorious promo form. She announces that she has been chosen by the heavens and is the embodiment of fate, the all-elite goddess, so to speak. The match between her and Stat was rough on the sickos, but handshakes and bread was split, and it might be the end of it. But as I alluded to earlier, if you add the Queen in there may just be some casualties. I don't think we can handle that. Timeless Tony Storm is next. And she delivers another top-tier promo, looking ravishing in her pearls. Luther is standing tall behind her with the look of absolute disgust on his face. The champ gives us some glorious alliteration, a promise of a beheading, and some fantastic one-liners, as our tradition. It was the held facial expression at the end that put the cherry on the top of the perfect promo Sunday for me. I love that. I love a good... until it feels awkward. It's brilliant. Feel the wrath! It's Mary Farron Harley time. I don't know what that is, but it's Harley time. Who's she facing? Fuck knows. We'll know at least about 5 facts about the mystery person by the end of the match, though. So, hey, we pan down to the stage where Harley is posing in what I've only now just realized is a pink fluffy hat jacket, because it was all like together. She turned around, she had the point, and with the whoop, and then the whip, and then it's a hat. You might have known that. I didn't. Whew. Okay, so Harley's opponent is a Amina Belmont. And I am instantly on board with Amina Belmont. Her look and her attitude is like, I'm down with it. Her hair is literally like some of the most beautiful hair I have ever seen in my entire life. Her skin is perfect. She is amazing. We have actually seen her before. She was... who is she facing? I may have written it down later, so we may be finding out. But for now, I am going to tell you that she is the current CSW. I thought I was saying an S instead of a C. When you put them together, I get confused. CSW Women's Champion, and she is the former Zawa or ZOWA Empress Champion. Her finishing move is the princess twist. I say it like that because there's an X instead of a C, which is a rolling cutter. She started only in 2022, and she fought before in AEW and faced Nyla Rose. She's based out of Iowa. Belmont is in gold. Let's fucking go. Harley is quick and she's efficient as she takes control of the match with a stiff clothesline and a lovely Russian leg sweep. A sharp shot to the throat will stop all of that though, and Amina gets the upper hand and grabs Harley by the head, spins her around and slams Harley down to the mat. While Harley gathers herself, Belmont gives the crowd some sass before coming in for the attack. That was a big mistake, because that got the crowd to pull their collective fingers out of their ass and start chanting for Harley, who takes that power and puts it to good use as she uses it against Amina and takes her down with a lovely looking pump handle suplex with a feel the wrath. We get Harley hitting her finishing move and we get a 1, 2, 3. That quickly. Kind of squishy, kind of not. I described it in a kind of a squashy way, but it wasn't really, Belmont got some good, offense in there, and it'll be lovely to see her again. Harley is going to be on commentary next, and we have stopped our brain. What have we done? What have we done, brain? We are cutting all this out because I really don't know what my brain is doing right now. I only have like one line to read and then we're almost done. Well, not almost done. All right. Hang on a second. Oh, that is better. Holy flying fraggles. Here we go. Sorry. My bad. All right. Harley is going to do commentary in her ring gear next for the tag team main event. Let's see how long she stays out here. Lexi Nair has the job of interviewing Don Callis next. She gets insulted for her troubles. And the work harassment backstage is absolutely prolific. I hope they have a good HR. It gets a little 3 as a crowd there at the end when Kyle, say my full name, Fletcher, and Don Callis embrace and like what they feel. And then they just slide off in a hug to do goodness knows what. But Kyle, say my full name, Fletcher, is back with a vengeance, people. Match time! We are only here to see what happens between the Beast Mortos and Harley Graham. That is it. We are doing nothing else at all. Harley is on commentary and alludes to the fact that every sicko is well aware of, and that's luchas in particular in this particular scenario, aka beast like ones, are quite attractive underneath the masks. And then Nigel McGuinness gets cut with like stray jabs, which was very amusing. I like that. He had no idea that was coming. She would completely slice that man's ego down. No shade on Nigel McGuinness at all. I don't know. It's very amusing. About a fifth into the match, we start about a fifth into the match, my brain goes over there and you're just left with this rabbiting on at you like a dummy. Anyway, brain, here we go. About a fifth into the match, they start talking about beasts, and a little Harley gets a little flustered, and apparently she must instantly have to leave commentary to make a very important phone call. A little later, out comes the woman herself. It's Harley Graham. We get some minor chain caressing with the Beast Mortos, and that's it. Blah, blah, blah. Match of excellent wrestling for Tech main event. Dumb burgers. Wow, bravo. So that was basically it. She kind of came out, did a little like woo, and then they had a little like he had a little like thing, all of his beasties, and then so Will this be the relationship of the century? We don't know. Will Harley Graham be unmasked by the Beast? And if so, will the Beast be unmasked by Harley Graham? Who knows? Who cares? Let's just see what happens. All right, people. I think I have jabbered along enough. Don't you? Don't you? I hope it's been a little extra entertaining now that you can see my very movable, emotive face. I am here to talk about women's wrestling. You know this. We're at the end of the episode. If you don't know that by now, you haven't been listening. And that's fine, because then you can listen to it again and give me more views. Hey, I saw what you did there. You're a true fan. Okay. Thank you to Christy, Books and Buddy Slams, for coming on and having a little chat at the beginning. That was really fun. That was a nice little casual chat on things. Please see me on Threads, Bx_Bxtch, if you want to say hi. Don't be a dick. We are on YouTube and all other audio platforming areas. I'm good at this. See, this is what you've been missing out on. Aren't you lucky you get all the gold now? Okay, I am stopping this. This outro itself could go on for 30 minutes. We don't need that. Thank you so much for joining Don't Call Me Diva. Who knows what we're going to have next? I do, because I write it. All right. Don't be a dick. See you later.